And good evening, everyone. And it's about 9:20 p.m. and we're gonna get right into our next podcast interview with professional pro wrestler Craig Mitchell from Freelance Underground Wrestling in Chicago. As he's going to be appearing, he's going to be on the card there versus GCW. So let's talk to him and see what he's up to and talk about his match and much, much more. Stay tuned, fans. Let's have another talk of great night of wrestling again right now. Tune in. And much, much more. Good evening, Craig Mitchell, and how you doing tonight, man?
Good.
You there? Hello?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I'm just turning my volume back up, sorry.
Yeah. Every single time I do any of these where I actually have to call in, I always seem to be either coming or going somewhere, so I'm calling on the road.
You're on the road, huh? Everybody's always
on
on the road. They're always on the road, but it's all good.
I just got done leaving. I left. They're actually doing an Austin area seminar at the place we usually train at, so I just left there as that seminar was getting started there.
Oh wow, cool. Was he there? Actually, yesterday.
Yeah, right when I was dipping out, they were starting the seminar. So.
Oh, cool. So you just got out just at the time, huh?
Yeah, just get a little workout in, get a little ring time, and then you head out.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. It's time to go to bed soon, right?
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to talking to you and learning a little bit more about freelance wrestling because I've seen it on videos, but I want to see how, what your, how you guys do it and, what it's like, because I'm going to be checking that out for the first time in a couple weeks, Yeah,
anybody that's listening to this that happens to know who I am, it's probably funny because your podcast, seems to be more driven towards deathmatch wrestling. And anybody who does know who I am or anybody who looked me up after the fact is probably like, why in the hell are you having me on here?
No, you know what it is? You know what? Deathmatch wrestling, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's indie wrestling. I love indie, all professional wrestling, you know what I mean? I mixed it up, because I do like both worlds,
Yeah, I mean, especially me, I would consider myself still someone who's very actively a fan.
Yeah.
Especially growing up, that appeal of hardcore deathmatch wrestling has kind of always been there for me. I've had my fair share, but as as I've gotten a little older, kind of stayed more in the the realm of strict wrestling or more of like a contemporary style of wrestling. But it's always been there. So like podcasts like this where you're highlighting both sides is awesome. But that deathmatch wrestling is definitely something that I really appreciate. It might not be, everybody's thing, but I know that I'm still actively a fan. And even if you're not really necessarily into it, I know it's something that everybody should at least, look at. And
you know what? Be prepared because, Game Changer Wrestling is going to bring a little bit of ultra violence your way, So,
yeah, it's going to be great. I think the Midwest is, with especially places like Chicago, it is kind of like a melting pot of different styles. I mean, you have your straight wrestling, you have your lucha wrestling, but deep down, a lot of the fans out here are pretty bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
And I know that, especially with what Game Changer is doing, what I really like about their look and their feel, it kind of reminds me of just like a more of a grittier.
It's a hybrid. Yeah, it's like more of a hybrid wrestling and ultra violent. They really twist the book.
Exactly.
And you're bringing wrestlers from all over the world, Japan to, Mexico. DDTU is one of the top promotions, that we represent to bring them over and wrestle for GCW, and the guys go over there. It's great for, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I like GCW a lot for the idea that like this is going to be a really good thing for us as well as maybe for them to kind of get introduced more into the Chicago area.
Right.
The name itself is awesome for the idea that like when you do think about it, you think of more of that more of like a hardcore deathmatch style. But as you just seen a few weeks ago during WrestleMania weekend, their style as far as what they're lending their name to. I mean, with Joey Janela's Spring Break, and then you got Matt Riddle's Bloodsport. It's awesome because now you're looking at so many different styles of wrestling under one name.
And you know what? WrestleMania weekend, that was the only two. Who could put on two shows? Nobody did. No independent company does that. So they pulled that. It was great. And
this is a wonderful time. Yeah,
and it was great reviews. Twitter reviews were up the roof for them. It's like, wow, they sold out. They sold out both shows. It's like, this is a good, time for them to be making their way out in New Orleans, WrestleMania, WrestleCon, and all the other promotions that were there too.
Yeah, this is a weird time. I mean, like,
I know.
If you think about it, like, as long as is independent wrestling lately, it just seems like over the last few years has gotten this way of feeling that it's become bigger than it could have ever been. Now it's taking over WrestleMania weekend. I mean, you're thinking like 4 or 5 years ago, the only time you would see a show during WrestleMania weekend would be if it was like a Ring of Honor show or something like that.
Yes.
Now you can go to WrestleMania weekend as a fan, and you can go there for the experience of WrestleMania, which is this kind of bigger, larger than life experience.
I know.
Now, if you're a fan of anything outside of, the big times like WWE or Ring of Honor, you can go to these shows.
I mean, you had think about it. We had Progress Wrestling out of UK was there, That's like awesome. That's really awesome to have them again, and Evolve and all the other promotions that really people don't know are like really cool independent wrestling promotions all over the world, Yeah,
it's a great time to be a wrestling fan, and I think it's
a
really great time to be involved in independent wrestling as itself. I mean, there are so many great opportunities for anybody that's putting the work in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, especially like I said, with this GCW freelance show, it's a great opportunity for a lot of us to work with not only just people we are friends with from that side, but people we either come and pass or people we haven't even necessarily worked with, but to see what they're all about, get their fans to get their eyes on kind of what freelance is about.
Yeah.
But then vice versa as well. There's a lot of people who would go to freelance shows that wouldn't know too much about GCW, but are getting a great opportunity to see some of their talent. Like, you got like Joey Janela and Nick Gage and stuff like that.
Yes, so, Marcus Crane, and he's a local from the area, so,
Yeah, Marcus is an awesome guy. He's a friend of mine. So
that's awesome. He's a cool dude. He's a character, but he's great. Yeah.
It's going to be great. I think it's, like I said, I think it's going to be one of those kind of win-wins, but I think it's going to be something different.
Yeah.
I know they're doing the 2 shows, so
I hope you get to watch that other show. You're gonna have to you're gonna stick around for that one. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So what's going to be good is I'm not too sure. I mean, as well as like I'm sure the fans have seen, they're not really announcing too much.
No, I know, because they want to keep us. They want to keep us in suspense, and that's good. That's good.
It's good. I think it's going to be good because the dynamic will be, everybody that's going to the show will know that it's going to be some kind of freelance talent versus kind of like a GCW talent. So it should, set up for a lot of matches that maybe like people may have seen in the past but would want to see again if they're going to go that route.
Mm-hmm.
Or, it could kind of be something like I would have never expected to see these people in the ring together.
Yeah. I know. And you got Joey Janela, of all people. He's a really great wrestler, so,
Yeah, you got Eric Ryan coming in. I like Eric
Ryan. I know.
So it's going to be great. And then we got some local talent. I'm not too sure if you're familiar with some of them.
Yeah, I messed up on their names. So I want to see if you got them right. Gringo Loco, I know. Okay, has that.
Gringo Loco. I'm sure you've seen him at Spring Break.
Iris or something? Iris?
Isaiah?
Yes, okay, that's it.
It's Isaiah Velasquez. So he's a wonderful, wonderful local guy. He's got his name out there. He just did a couple shows in Mexico, I think, with he just did a couple shows out in Mexico. I know he's definitely someone that if you have not had the ability to check him out, he's definitely someone to look into.
Right.
He's he's definitely been someone who, shines through on the Midwest scene.
And I'm sure you've wrestled him before.
Yes, there's some matches out there.
Yeah, and I saw Kylie Ray, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Kylie Ray. So, I mean, there are some people that if you are not familiar with them, as they start to announce some of the talent, I mean, they're worth definitely checking out. Yeah. I can tell you this, just by knowing who's putting the show together on the freelance side.
Yeah,
they're making sure that they're going to pick people that not only will represent what freelance can do as far as putting on a show, but they'll make sure that there are people that can definitely, hold and carry their weight in an environment such as like.
And this is pretty cool. I was like looking and studying at the arena. It's really cool. You guys are at a brewery. How cool is that?
So yeah, wrestling there's awesome. So the people who actually run that brewery are really cool. Yeah. I feel like it's the perfect venue to do a show like this.
Yes, for fans fans like me that are beer drinkers. Come on,
Yeah, and the beer's awesome. They make great stuff.
Yeah,
it's definitely good to it's a nice local place.
Yeah.
And they let us do pretty much whatever we want.
That's
so it's got that great environment.
That's cool. That's cool. And you got good sized crowds. I see. I watch a couple of events online, and you guys really, bring your crowd in. That's good.
Anybody that's coming out that's not familiar with the Chicago area will definitely be.
I'm not from the area.
Yeah, it'll be great for you because you're coming in. You're going to be going to a show. That Friday show.
I know.
Will be right downtown, so you'll be able to pretty much get into the area. Do the show, and then if you are going to be hanging out any time between that and the show the next day, you're going to be right there in the city. So it's kind of a great.
And I heard the bars are open until like 4 a.m. or something.
Yeah. If you want to hang out and you want to party,
dude, we're going to party. Crane. I hope you're going to hang out with us.
Yeah, Marcus Crane will take you out. He'll take you over to the exit. That's a great place to go.
Yeah, I heard about that place. It's wild.
So it's good. It's going to be. I think it's going to be a good weekend. For both, and I think it'll just be overall very fun. The next show, I know the day after is going to be in a town called Villa Park.
Yes.
Some people might not be too familiar with that.
I'm not familiar with that.
So that place is actually, it's a wonderful place that a lot of people maybe sleep on. It's a place that's owned by it's a man named Carlos who owns Golly Lucha USA. So it's a lucha company that runs every Sunday here in Chicago.
Oh, wow.
It's a great place. I mean, they have, over the years, brought in some of the best talent. We've had, Ricochet, Phoenix, Pentagon. So they bring in some of the best talent, but it's a great place for all of the up-and-coming guys to always have a place to work. Every Sunday they run the same venue. Yeah. It's a good. They have a good crowd, so it's always been a really good place for us to actually turn to.
Dude, that's awesome.
So that venue actually has that place that runs also is where everyone trains out of. So you have Bryce Benjamin who runs practice there as well, and then you have the lucha training that is run with Gringo Loco, and then you got guys passing through like Mustafa Ali and DJ Z. So it's a really good area. Just Sky Day Jr. trains out of there.
Yeah.
It's a great place that a lot of people I think don't take the time to actually appreciate.
Yeah.
So having that show there, it's definitely going to be awesome for the idea that there's tons of space.
Yeah.
It's going to be probably the best place to have that type of show.
Yes.
Considering the the violence and the glass.
I know. I'll be helping working on the weapons, I'm sure. So,
Yeah. So it's probably the best place that could, I guess, physically hold the capacity for that show.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of nice that they're having something like that there because that place is kind of like the crossing, for all of us that, as we pass through, it's always a place we've all worked. So I'm sure a bunch of guys that are coming to do that show have wrestled there in the past.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's gonna be cool to see see all you guys wrestling and hanging out and just see what it's all about. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait.
You're gonna have a great time, man. I think it's gonna be a good
thing. I think I told you 5 of us are rolling out from New Jersey. We're packing up a car and we're gonna go.
When are you getting in? Are you actually going to be
Friday?
Getting in?
Thursday night.
Get in Friday right before the show? Thursday night? Okay.
Yeah, Thursday night. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think you're going to have fun. I would say definitely if you're going to be out here for it, try to make some time for yourself to check out some of the city.
Yeah, that's what I know.
Yeah, if you're making the trip all the way out all the way out here, you might as well give yourself a little bit of time to enjoy it.
Absolutely. We're staying at that Motel 6 or whatever, so, hey, it's okay, we're going
Yeah.
we're all going a cheap route, a lot of but it's worth it,
Yeah. I just stayed. It's funny you mentioned. I
Yeah.
just stayed at a
Yeah.
Motel 8
Yeah.
up in Portland, Maine.
Yeah.
I did Limitless Wrestling a few weeks ago.
Oh, cool.
And I stayed at this Motel 8 up there,
Yeah.
and it was kind of like a last minute.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to be laid over there for the day.
No.
And I stayed there last minute, and it was probably one of the worst places I've ever been in
Yeah,
my life.
I've been there. I know. We all know how it is. It's all dingy. It's creepy as all fuck. Yeah,
it's got that fucking smell to it.
Yes.
When I went in,
yes,
and I hit the button for the elevator.
Yeah.
As it was coming down, the lights didn't
started
work,
flickering.
so I didn't know
Oh,
what the
great.
floor it was on.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a scene. It's a joke. But
best wishes for you. Hopefully you don't.
Well, I don't know. You know what? Hey, all we care about is it's a place to sleep and party. How's that?
Hey, you save money on the place, and then you have more money to party. So
exactly, and buy more merch.
So, what are you looking most forward to out of the matches that are actually announced?
Oh, jeez, man, it's just like you guys, your card. Whoever you guys mixing up with our guys. Like.
See, I think the best dynamic is going to be. There are a lot of guys out this way that aren't necessarily known for violent style.
Yeah.
They're more known for either, if they are known for like a more of a rough style or like a roughneck style, you never see them dealing with any kind of hardcore deathmatch. But then there are guys that are only known for maybe more of their technical ability. So I think that's going to be interesting to see, especially you got guys coming in like Eric Ryan or Joey Janela or like Nick Gage. Nick Gage would be a really, really big one here.
Wow,
he's thinking of someone that embodies violence.
And he's a trainer, man, and it's awesome. It's just the way he started out. He got into his troubles. Hey, it all happens to a wrestler, or, in society. But he rebuilt himself.
Yeah, I think that's what makes him actually more unique. If you're looking at it from the fan perspective, you know that not only you're dealing with someone that's he's been around,
dude. But you know what? He's the friendliest guy you'll ever meet. Nice to talk to. Really awesome.
But he's been through some shit, and you know what? He's probably one of the toughest people that probably exists.
Yes, he is. Right, he is. And
being around as long as he has, it's kind of interesting. I've never actually met him or crossed paths with him, so
you will now meet him, so you'll be like, wow,
we'll get to see how it is. So
yeah, so many, but we're gonna have, I think, G Ravers on the card. There's another face that's real popular.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be one of those things that if people out this way are going for the regular freelance experience, and they're maybe just going because they want to support that particular show, they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be let down in any way. In fact, I think they might get more fans for Game Changer. And we're hoping vice versa. I know that there's a lot of people coming out just for that hardcore or that roughneck style. And maybe there might not be as much on Friday. But I would imagine that they can appreciate and support some of the local guys.
I know. That's going to be a straight wrestling show, and it's going to be, you know what I mean? That's going to be like, it's going to be awesome.
I think there's going to be a little bit more violence in it than some people know. I have a feeling. I might know a little bit more than I can allow.
I know you do, and I don't want to spoil it. Don't spoil it for me. Don't be.
I only know so much. Much.
But Schlack is coming too, and there's one of the guys that's really you're gonna be like, wow, He's
if you don't know who Schlack is, and you were to just show a photo,
I know.
He's definitely one of the people that I think he stands out, but at the same time, he's so different.
He's got a kick-ass attitude. He's awesome. He's just an awesome all-around person.
Yeah, I've definitely over the years have seen his work. So it's going to be, you can't have, shows like Game Changer shows without that type of talent,
I know.
That's really what we're expecting to see.
I know. And
but maybe they'll do the opposite. They'll throw Schlack in a straight wrestling match on Friday, and you'll get to see exactly how versatile he is.
Yeah, we also have Tony Deppen, who's going to be making his debut too down in Chicago. What do you think of that guy?
And he is awesome. So Tony he's someone I actually know. I've known for quite a while.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I throughout the years of when I started wrestling, he was always someone that was a little bit more on the East Coast that I did know that was coming up around the same time.
Right.
And it's really good to see him. Not only making his way out here finally, that's definitely long overdue, but he's he's really crushing it right now, and he's definitely standing out, which is definitely deserved because over the last few years he's really been he's been putting on great matches.
Oh, phenomenal, man! He's one of those guys that just doesn't. He takes pride of takes pride in what he does every day in the ring. And fans love him. Local fans love him. We love him. Whenever we see him, he's going to be. I'm going to actually see him. May 6th? We got a show down here in New Jersey. On Point presents Survival of the Sickest, and and be right before we leave.
You said that On Point, right? That's
yes.
On Point Wrestling.
Yeah.
I've seen quite a bit of media from them. They seem to be kind of like a standout company out that way. And I don't know too many Midwest guys that maybe are checking them out, but I've definitely I've seen them. I know they actually they put on some. So they put out some pretty good media. At least I've seen some. At least.
Yeah, I think you may want to reach out to one of the guys and like Tony and ask him.
Yeah, I know they use a guy that I've always wanted to see out this way, and that would be Unbreakable Andy.
Oh my God, that kid Andy is great, man. Oh, dude.
Yeah, I wish. It's always been one of those things. I've always said to promoters out here.
Yeah,
I've always wanted them to use him. I've known him. We're not really necessarily friends or anything like that, but I've known him, or in some way for many years, and he's always been someone that I've just always wished would just leave Pennsylvania a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's like him and Tony and my friend Andrew, who is Drew. He's a photographer and wrestler.
Yeah.
Takes some.
He's definitely a guy that it's a shame that I guess slips maybe between the cracks a bit more.
Yeah.
Because he might not get out as much.
No.
But the media speaks for itself. You get a chance to see some of these guys. Whether it be through gifts or anything like that, or if you get a chance to actually take the time to watch the matches.
Yeah. But On Point's really a place to they showcase the good the good talent, local talent from all over New York, New Jersey area. Connecticut.
Well, East Coast is killing it right now for sure.
Yeah, I know.
Anytime we get a chance to get out that way, it's definitely a place that it feels different when we're here. I mean. Not to ever say anything negative about where I'm from, because that's not what I'm saying. But there's so many places to go out here. And
we have fun wrestling too. We have fun local wrestling. I'm a friend of a promoter who's it runs. It's called Jersey Jersey Premier Championship Wrestling. It's really a fun based company. We bring in Darius Carter, and it's like people like you see on TV once in a while. It's really awesome, Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You got to always support your local stuff. So,
absolutely.
like we out here, we have local. Obviously, everybody has their locals, but it just feels like in Chicago there are so many places. Like if you want to go to a wrestling show on a Friday or a Saturday or a Sunday, it's just you could just pick. There's so many different ones. I think one of the things that right now it's hard to do, but people are really trying to focus on is what makes each one of these places different and appeal to particularly what you find interesting or fun in wrestling. So I think that's one of the reasons why this show with Game Changer is going to work with Freelance Underground, because I think they match in some weird way.
The chemistry. It's just chemistry. Chemistry and balancement. Balance.
I mean, I know you don't get a chance to necessarily come out to a Freelance Underground or a freelance show in Chicago, but it's one of those kinds of things where when you're at a freelance show, it feels like a freelance show. It just has that feeling of it's a darker, more punk rock, gritty environment. But
that's cool. That's it's like we trend to we live off of whatever. we don't care.
It's not a family show. It's definitely more in your face. It kind of plays to that. But at the same time, it's still a place you go where you know that there are going to be local guys. You're going to see your local up-and-coming talent. The promoters for both Freelance and Freelance Underground do a great job at bringing in new guys all the time to kind of give opportunity to people that normally would never get a chance to wrestle in front of 600-700 people.
No, I know.
So, but at the same time, it's a place where they bring in, some of the up-and-coming talent that's, on the rise.
Yes.
Or guys that are established, so you can kind of have that feeling of a show that could be bigger than itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna be cool. I'm wondering. There's still some people that haven't been announced that I'm wondering they're
I
gonna
know.
bring in.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I really hope you have a great time when you come in,
dude, I
man. That's
can't wait
gonna be.
I can't wait to hang out with you. We're gonna have a blast.
Oh yeah, we're gonna definitely have some fun. I'll definitely hang out with you. So.
I'll be front row, so you watch out. You can
Oh, you already got your phone and everything already? That's great.
Yeah, my friend really arranged to talk with the promoter, and he got got us in it. Way before the tickets went. You know what I mean? He really hooked us.
Yeah.
This way.
So
Yeah.
the front row for the Saturday show,
Yeah.
I'm wondering how that's going to go because I know that venue's laid out a bit weird, but with the brewery, it's nice because the amount of seats for front row is pretty awesome. They have quite a bit.
Yeah.
So you'll have definitely a good chance if you. I don't know if front row is already sold out. It very well could be by now.
I think it is. I think it is.
Oh yeah, so that probably went quick. I know the seats. So what they do that's kind of awesome is they have their seats obviously, but then they do have their standing room.
Yeah.
Parts of it.
Yeah.
Which if you're going there for the party environment.
Yeah.
You get your drink packages and you can just drink all night. And,
I know. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. Or just
gonna be good.
Buy your ticket for $20 and still drink. It doesn't matter. We're out of towners. We don't care.
Yeah.
We're coming to.
Yeah, I mean, like the brewery there itself, like what they actually do make as far as like beer and things like that. The variety's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not your
I know.
It's not your typical bar, but I'm sure you'll enjoy yourself.
Oh, dude, if I like Long Trail beer and fucking Massachusetts Yingling beer, come on, shit, I've been to the breweries, come on,
No, it'll be awesome. It's like I said, I think it's great that they hooked up with that brewery for the sole idea that I think they benefit by having something different, so that way it kind of puts their name out there, and then vice versa.
In summertime, maybe that's more shows. That's probably more fun for summertime. Brewery.
Oh fuck yeah! That's why I'm so glad the show's happening in May. Right now it's April, and the weather we're getting is pure shit.
Yeah,
it snowed this morning.
Did it? Oh man.
Yeah.
We had nothing. We had nothing but rain and sunshine today.
Yeah, and that's what I think of. Like when I think of the East Coast during these times coming, I would think you guys been hit with the shit too. So
yeah. You know what? I'm actually at the shore. I could say I'm 15 minutes from the beaches. So yeah, I'm like dead center in town. So yeah, I'm like close to the famous seaside in Point Pleasant.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you never know what to do. Like this Midwest Chicago weather shit is crazy. For all we know, it could snow on the damn day of the show still. So
I was looking on the calendar. I was trying to see, how far is that T-shirt shop from there? I was looking at that.
Oh, Pro Wrestling Tees?
Yeah. Is that far?
That is not too far. Actually, from where you're going to be at the Bader Bro show.
Yeah.
If you were to get in town early enough, or actually since you're getting in Thursday night, you'll have plenty of time to hit up Pro Wrestling Tees in the morning.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
So, and it's definitely, if you're coming in town and you've heard of Pro Wrestling Tees, it's definitely worth it to give it a shot. To actually stop in.
Yeah.
And, they have a storefront now. You can definitely go in there. And you can get anything you want, and if they don't have it in your size,
order it.
They can print it for you right there. It's amazing.
It's cool. That's cool.
It's one of the coolest things, especially over the last couple of years, seeing where it came from being kind of just like this
online thing. Yep.
Yeah, and like now they actually have this really well established store that's signings out of and everything. It's incredible.
That's so cool. Like that's like probably one of those coolest things. Yeah, but how many T-shirts do we have? We gotta stop the line sometime.
Yeah, I mean, I can speak from experience. Like I know a few guys that actually do work for freelance. One of which is actually the owner of freelance. Actually works at Pro Wrestling Tees.
Oh, really? Cool. Cool.
So we're all pretty well tied in. As far as seeing or hearing what's kind of working up with that. So
yeah. That's awesome. Though you guys have a good establishment with them.
Yeah, it definitely helps for getting the freelance merch printed, doesn't it?
yeah, the Craig merch. The Craig merch. Gotta get the Craig merch, right? Yeah, T-shirts.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I should say, I should own up to it. My last run of limited merch I did print, I did not print the Pro Wrestling Tees, so I guess I am a traitor.
Oh no! Uh-oh.
I had a buddy of mine who actually hooked me up with a sweet deal, so I did a limited run of my merch now. It's going pretty well.
Oh, awesome! Better hold on to one of those for me.
I got a few left, so we'll see what I got.
All right, extra large. I got your shirt printed. I just got your shirt out.
Yeah, I prefer to do limited runs. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, let's be honest. I'm not selling merch like crazy. I'm
No,
not one of
no.
those guys. I never ever thought of myself as being anything like that. But at the same time, if I am going to go out and print something, I'd rather do limited runs of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just because I feel like if I see one of my shirts in the crowd, I'd be like, oh wow, that's one of the 25 I printed. You know.
Yeah.
I didn't print 100 of them. Or
And then
like that,
you see your friends from New Jersey wearing them. You're like, hey,
Yeah.
I know this guy David. Support me. All right. You know?
Yeah. It's always cool to see stuff like that. That's why I always prefer to do limited runs because I am, for one, I'm not selling a bunch of them.
No.
But if somebody were to take the time to actually, support someone like me,
yes,
who is an up and coming, I'm not like a super established anything. So
hey,
if someone were to take
your
the
name
time
is
to
out
actually,
there. You're taking your time and you're meeting your fans. You have fun and wrestle in front of us, and that's all it's about.
Yeah, and I think that's something I actually really. I really do appreciate. I don't just look at it as, please buy my merch, support me. It's more like if you're actually taking the time to actually pay attention to what I'm doing and you want to be able to, especially as hard as times are for certain people.
Oh, yeah, we know that.
I mean, if you're going to take the, anything out of your life to give to me, to support me, I would.
Sure.
I would really appreciate to see something like that. But I think doing limited runs like that, it kind of keeps me, especially the color schemes. I could see like, oh, it's one of 25 people who bought a shirt.
Yeah. But you'll probably sell out, so you never know.
Yeah.
GCW could buy them all up. You never know. Fans a lot.
Well, you never know. Yeah.
We have a lot of fans coming from the East Coast, so that's pretty awesome too.
I think it's going to be cool because I don't know about too many, fans that would normally travel out this way for a particular show. So it's going to be cool.
We just, we were all like, we didn't go to New Orleans. We were like, we're going to go jump in the cars and go, do something fun.
The New Orleans shows looked insane. Like, the crowds were so big, I couldn't believe it.
But next year I'll be in New Jersey, so I can't wait, I'll be like, waiting until they come.
Is it going to be New York or New Jersey?
I don't know. MetLife Stadium, I think.
Did you see there's like a petition to bring it back to Orlando?
Really? Oh,
yeah,
geez.
so I don't know, and I never thought there'd be a time where people would be like fighting over WrestleMania this bad. But
if they did it right and played in MetLife Stadium, that would be a good place because that's the newest. Right next to the Prudential Center is like a big rock concert hall and soccer field and whatever. They could pack a lot of that wrestling, the indie shows right in there.
Yeah, well, we haven't had WrestleMania in Chicago in forever, and I was just. This past couple weeks ago, I went to C2E2, which is like a local like Comic-Con, I guess you could say. And when I was there, I was like, oh my god, like if they could hold a WrestleMania in Chicago, I was like trying to think, I was like, this would be like a wonderful place because of the idea of like it's obviously you have the city, but there's so many local venues to do different styles of shows that would kind of give it different flavors. I mean, I think the New Orleans thing was great for the idea that it kind of had this appeal to it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel like
they had so many. But then the commissioner with all that stupid stuff,
Yeah.
It's like really, come on. That was like no necessary. But you know what? Hey, it's New Orleans. But
I'm excited about New York because I think that's what I'm talking about. It has that appeal. It's you have obviously this larger than life spectacle in WrestleMania, but then
Madison Square
you
Garden.
Think of the city,
Imagine at Madison Square Garden. Holy cow! Can you imagine?
That'd be great.
But it's going to be something to see. But you know what? Freelance is what I'm going to be looking forward to, and a lot of other people are too.
Yeah, I mean, now the cool thing is if the show goes really well, obviously in the eyes, kind of. From people that are not normally used to freelance, if they get their eyes on it and kind of think of it as something they like, it's something that they can easily, stay connected to. Especially these days, there's like streaming services for everything.
I know.
That's one way that I'm able to keep up with so many of the damn shows out there.
Twitch TV,
or different
too.
companies
Twitch,
running.
Even Twitch, Jeez, Twitch. It's like wow, everywhere.
Like, well, what's awesome is I've never even seen that coming, and as far as like. I always knew Twitch was there, obviously,
as a gamer,
the video gaming.
Yes.
But when people started streaming their shows on Twitch, it like blew my mind. I didn't even think
like
that was
House
like
of Hardcore. Come on, Tommy Dreamer's Federation. Every Wednesday night they stream it or whenever they do it. It's like wow.
It's a great time.
And actually, they're getting ready to do another show in a couple of weeks up in I think in the Ohio area. in the Ohio area for wrestling for Warriors. You know.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. They're gonna do a deal with them, so it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I always wondered though, as these streaming services started to get bigger, if it would actually hurt the amount of people that come to live events.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, but it seems to not be necessarily the case. It's almost like if you're not there in the area, it's obviously great because you could tune in. But if you're in the area, I still think people would prefer to go to the live show.
Absolutely, my friend does one. You know, he's a GCW tech guy, and he does YouTube live videos. You know, live. And then it's pay the service for streaming. You know. It's
crazy. I mean, there's so many now. You think there's like Powerbomb.tv, and then I know CZW has like that whole network, and then you have the WWN.
Yeah,
I mean, like if you
Fight TV, all this and other.
They're not very expensive, realistically, considering what you're thinking you're getting for the content.
But sometimes, you know what? It freezes, and that's the only thing that's the downfall. You know what I mean? You can never.
Is it with the which one is it freeze with most?
Like most, I think like Flow Slam, that froze for quite a while, you know.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I didn't see anything with. I see it on Twitter, obviously.
Yeah.
After the fact, but I wonder if that's necessarily the case with everyone. I don't know. I've seen a couple shows.
Yeah.
I know, like maybe 6 months back, I watched a show via Flow Slam. I didn't have any issues with it. So. Yeah. I mean, and they were like one of the first to really be big with the streaming services. So
I know, but yeah, glad that people don't. Well, you know, Facebook Live can't do that crap though. You know, that's really they need to watch that. You know what I mean? They should.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing a lot more of that now too. That's another thing. When I'm at shows, I'll come out and I'll see someone in the front that's streaming the show from their phone.
Yeah, it's like really.
It's insane, and they'll have. It's almost like they have a full setup too. Yeah. Like a couple months back, I actually seen someone sitting in the front, and they had their phone plugged into a battery pack, and they had a MiFi, which is like a personal wireless hotspot, and they had it sitting in their lap, and they were streaming the show on Facebook.
Jeez. That's losing business. That's not good for the business. You know what I mean?
No, but I mean, I just think it's just. Stupid. I mean, for one, it's shitty, so it just looks shitty, especially if you're holding the phone like vertically. It's terrible.
Yeah, some of these people don't know how to use it, and their phones are like foggy. You know, their phones are foggy, and there's like you can't see nothing.
I mean, I didn't think about it as I was coming out, but I was like, now that I'm thinking back on it, I'd be like, as a person, I would have just looked at him and been like, not only is that just terrible, like who's watching?
Yeah,
is there like 4 people watching?
Yeah.
So after about a minute of seeing it in super, super shitty quality, it being super far away, I wouldn't want to watch it anyway.
I mean, my promos on my YouTube are phenomenal, like the quality, because I learned how to tweak my camera, for video promos. It's like, wow, people like it, And then that's what we're going to do while I'm there, too. I'm going to get a video promo with you. How's that?
Yeah, I can get one.
Put it right up on the website. It's
I
great.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that, if I were to touch on a little bit, I think that's one thing that is starting to become more apparent, but it was missing for a long time. I think a lot of people don't take the time to actually make sure that what they're putting out is very, it's got to have like an aesthetic to it.
I love doing promos. I mean, I'll take a 15-minute video clip and put highlight reels together, I'm pretty techie like that, you know what I mean? Like, I love messing around, making little videos of you guys, or you know what I mean? It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the best way to put things out there. I know for years, if you wanted to check a company out, and you wanted to check media out for them, unless they were one of the bigger ones, if you were to look for media online, it would always be that super far away hard cam shot that someone would record on their own. And no matter how good the match is, that angle doesn't do anything for anybody.
No.
And I think that's one thing, I mean, especially if you've never really seen too much of freelance, and you've seen some maybe like the DVD trailers or something they put out there, one of the things that always has stood out to me about them is it's a little bit more in your face, but at the same time, the feeling of the show is a little bit more upright and right in your face about it. Like the editing is a little quicker. It just has more of a appealing look.
How's your commentating team? I didn't even ask about that. Pretty good.
They're very good. I mean, they're great guys. I think they keep you in the match. They don't feel like they're I don't think they're more important than the match. You know, sometimes teams can kind of make themselves more a part of the match than the actual wrestling.
Then your referees, of course, they're good. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's good. Like that style of presenting your content it's starting to become more popular. Yeah. Especially, I see a lot of production companies popping up.
Yeah,
I know there's. I can't think of any of them. I mean, I know you got your Powerbomb.tv. Those guys actually, film the shows for companies now.
Smart Mark and
Smart Mark. I mean, like actually, recording shows, but in a quality way, and actually being able to then put that content out to the masses, but it actually is watchable. Yeah. I mean, you know how many times, you want to send a match to a promoter or something like that, and it's like the only match you can get is a super far away shot of your match that was shot, on like some super shitty camera or something like that. So I think this is a time now where you can get in extremely good quality versions of everything. So if you couldn't make it to a show, you have a really good presentation to at least look at.
Oh, wait till you see my, I'm sure you probably saw some of those promos I did on the videos, on my website. I have a video section up there on my website, It's really cool.
Yeah, I did check you out a little bit before, especially before I jumped into it with you. I wanted to be able to check out a little bit more of what you were doing.
Yeah. My history, I have a lot, it's pretty cool.
Well, it's definitely good to know that, like, this podcast that you are doing, it's definitely, for fans.
And guess what? This is actually live right now.
It is. That's great.
I set the audio to the live instead of pre-recorded. How's that? So
that's good. I know. I had a couple of guys that messaged me saying they were going to check it out tonight. So I hope you had a good following for it.
Dude,
so.
I'm killing it on the scene, man. This is the time of the year where people want to come out and listen to podcasts. It's dead. Because I'm an East Coaster, and this is, from a fan like me, for East Coast to mix it up with the deathmatch and indie wrestling, it's perfect. Because this is what we need. You need this for the competition out there. People don't have that. If you Google online. Look on podcasts. You don't see deathmatch wrestling podcasts. You see more of the independent, And I'm like, you know what? I can mix this up and do it myself, and have fun.
What's important?
And have
fun.
You
need to be able to do that.
And have fun.
That right there is what's important, though. You got to have fun because I think if there wasn't things like this allowing,
I just did the interview with a guy who wrote the book for Dr. David Schultz. Phenomenal. Like I grew up watching David Schultz, when I was a kid at the local Ice Palace, watching him wrestle, like crazy, Do
you feel, though, as you've been doing more of the podcast and being kind of like the leader of the conversation, do you feel like it kind of puts you in a position to, cross that, where you just go from being casual fan to being someone that you feel is, becoming maybe important in your local environment as far as being like the driving force to reach out for local talent and local companies and kind of put them...
Absolutely. Branch out. That's what I do all the time. I branch out and help whoever I can, and get sponsored, try to get sponsored and, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like what you're doing with me is totally out there for you. I mean, I'm just some guy from Chicago that I guarantee anybody that's a fan of your podcast probably has no idea who the hell I am.
Yes.
But I mean, like you reaching out to me is giving me an ability to actually have a conversation with you. So
I know, because we want to know what freelance is going to have to offer for the fans that are, we're going to be there. Some people will be there. We're going to be like, wow, and people that are not going to be there watch it on the Powerbomb TV or, Twitch and whatever, Stitcher, video, this, that, all the live Twitter media,
Yeah, I mean, I hope I was able to give you kind of, like a good look into it. I know I'm not one of the owners or promoters.
No. I try to get one of the guys. He says you're super busy. He's super busy. But he's like, I talked to him. I was like, I'm going to have you on. And you're pretty...
Oh, is that Two Juice?
Yes. Yes.
We were joking. I was talking to one of the guys today. Two Juice is not around. It's too hard to get him. He's too loose.
Yeah. But it's all right. It's all right. I got you. So that's, I'm glad I got
I hope that I could be, I don't know, I mean, like, I hope I could be kind of a good, I guess you could say, like person to speak with on this. I only know so much, but I hope I could be like a goodwill ambassador, I guess you could say.
There you go. Pro wrestling ambassador.
Well, as someone who at least has a positive feeling on what they're looking to do, I feel like what is happening on our end up this way, at least from what I can see, it's all positive, and there is a lot of good coming from it. So I would say, this is going to be one of those good things where I think it's going to be good all the way around. So I really do hope that people that are, taking time out of their schedules to get in a car and drive hundreds of miles to come this way.
Vacation. That's it. Perfect.
Yeah. I hope they would have fun. I hope it's worth it for them to spend their money to come to something like this. So, I mean, from my perspective, I think it will be. And I just, I obviously am just speaking from what I think is good in it. So I think it'll be a good. Wait till you see us
fans. We're nuts. We're fun. We're gonna have a blast. That's all about having a good time.
Yeah. So I really do hope that when you do come out this way, it's something that it's great for you as a fan, but at the same time, you get a chance to maybe
come back,
hook up with some local talent. I mean, if you do decide to podcast from Chicago, there are definitely some guys that are, on the up that could benefit from, maybe speaking with you. So
you could always hit me up and tell me,
Maybe I'll shoot you some direct message after this.
Well, yeah, but it's too late. No, actually, we got a couple weeks still. Yeah, I could get somebody else.
So who do you? So who do you have? Do you have more guests today? Are you hooking up with anybody else?
I'm done. I'm going to bed. I gotta get up for. I'm a public works. I'm a garbage guy. I can work for my local town. Trash swinger and pothole filler.
Well, I hope I didn't keep you up too late then.
No, it's 10 o'clock. No, 10:07. But so who trained you? How's that?
So I actually I started with a man named Steve Boz.
Yeah.
And I actually started training with the owner who owns Freelance Wrestling. I started with him. His name is Nick Almaderis. Mm-hmm. And then I started with a few other close friends of mine that everybody messes around just back at wrestling stuff.
Yes.
So that group that I actually was kind of garden around with and just kind of having fun wrestling. Mm-hmm. We actually all went and started training together under Steve Boz, and we trained with Boz, and then there were a few other guys that came from the old Windy City, training back in the day. So we started training with Boz. We trained with him for a few years, and then we kind of, as we started working shows locally, we started to, we got really hungry from that, and then we started to branch out, and, it wasn't just wrestling in Chicago. We started getting on shows in Indiana, Wisconsin, and things like that. And from there, the group, I wouldn't say it's split up, but there are definitely a few that kind of went one way and went another way.
We know how it goes. People always do that,
Well, one of them, obviously, Nick went on to create Freelance Wrestling.
Yeah.
And that's been something that's been so important for all of us.
Yes.
And something that he's done that's it's just been a great thing for us in Chicago.
Yeah.
And it's been a really successful thing.
Yeah.
So he went on and did that, but he's still also killing it on the indies. He's wrestling all over the place. Every weekend he's somewhere else.
Yeah.
Whether it be in Mexico and Canada. He was just in England. So he's doing well on his own.
Yeah.
So we all started training, and then we started branching out, and then over the last year, 2 years or so, I started going back into, I can't just wrestle every weekend. I got to get back into training more. So I started dipping more into the training aspect of it. I started working with Bryce Benjamin, who runs the Freelance Wrestling Academy. Mm-hmm. I started training with him, and then I started training with Gringo Loco, Mustafa Ali. For more of the lucha stuff. So just so I can stay more versatile. I don't know if you're too familiar with some of my work. I'm more of a technical guy. I'm a little bit more of a, I guess you could say kind of like a hossier kind of moveset, but I do move very quickly, and I try to make sure that I stay more versatile than anything. So I do make sure I'm training lucha as often as possible. Right. Something I'm not amazing at. I'm not very good, but I do definitely try to stay. I'm very humble and understanding that I know I don't know everything.
Yes.
But I know that if you train and you keep yourself extremely well-rounded, that it'll make you more appealing in the long run. As far as if you're going to be bringing someone in for a show, you want to make sure they could do more than just one thing. You want to make sure that they're kind of, you can put them with anybody. You know?
Yeah. Really?
I mean, that's...
Yep.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, I think it's just something like out here is really good. If you want to train, there's quite a few schools you can go to, and you can kind of. I wouldn't want to say you could cherry pick what you're wanting to do, but I mean, if you go to one school, you can get one style of wrestling, but then there's quite a few people running practices and stuff like that. Like one good thing out here is, it's not uncommon for a bunch of us to get together on a Sunday and just kill ourselves in the ring and make sure that we're getting our cardio right so that we're ready for, whatever's thrown at us. So, I mean, it's not uncommon for a group of us to not just wait around for some school to give us that style of training. We can all come together and say, what's really important is this, and we'll actually drill this. Or we'll, come together and say that, maybe it would be great if we all start to push ourselves in a certain way to become better.
And you know what's cool? Because you get to train kids too. You know what I mean? You get to train the up and coming kids also. You know what I mean?
There's definitely a lot of that too. But there's never going to be a shortage of people that are trying to break into this business. I mean, will they become very successful? I don't know.
Yeah,
that's hard to say, especially as competitive.
They could say they have. They could just say they have. And they've tried.
Yeah.
But
what's really good about right now in wrestling is it's a good time for just about anybody. There's a lot of places running.
I know.
There's a lot of up-and-coming companies, but then there's a lot of companies that have been around for so long
that
are still giving out opportunities for people that are coming up, so it's a great time. And like I said, there's a lot of people that are, you still have your cutthroat, I don't want to let my spot go people, but at the same time, I think around, especially within my circle of people, there's a lot of people that do appreciate, each other and realize how hard it is in this business to break in and get further. So, there's a lot of us that will never ever step on each other to kind of get where we need to be. So we do help each other out, and that's where,
if you ever get to the WWE, if not, then hey, you know what, you're doing what you love to do, independent professional wrestling.
Yeah, it's so weird to say we live in a world now where like guys that we wrestled with 6 months ago on a Saturday in like some shitty gym in the middle of nowhere is now in the WWE. That's definitely a possibility. So.
I know, or you'll never know where you'll be. You don't know.
Exactly. I mean, I mean, there is definitely a realistic feel, especially if you've been working in this business a while. I'm sure there's a realistic feel of where you are or where you're going.
Yeah.
But then that's also based on how positive or what you feel you're working for to actually put yourself out there in a certain way. There are tons of people that are very comfortable where they're at.
Oh,
That's fine.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is, like I said, this is such a great time to be a fan, but at the same time, it's such a wonderful time to be an active wrestler, because if you have something, you have such a platform to put yourself out there. There's so many people that I've never met that are working right now that I look at them and I'm like, well, yeah, I'm a wrestler now and I get everything that's going on, in my business, but I'm looking at them going, wow, that's something different, and I actually really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And the fan side of me is like, I hope they run with that. I'm not too much worried about if they're going to get my spot, because I don't care about that.
No.
I actually look at something and I go, well, that's different, and I didn't do that first, and they did, or maybe they're doing it better than I ever could imagine, and it's great. So I think that's wonderful.
Awesome. All right, man. You want to plug away and tell about where we're going to be? And
so I guess you can say where I'm going to be. So this Friday, so tomorrow I'll be at Zelo Pro in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So they're a wonderful Chicago-based, I guess you could say, Midwestern company.
Yeah.
And then the following weekend I'll be right back in Chicago for a back-to-back freelance shows. So those are my next 3 days.
Yeah, crazy. And then back for GCW. Freelance.
Yeah, so I got a couple more before that. So I guess I don't really like to plug myself, but if you are, maybe you want to check me out, you can find me on Twitter, Craig Mitchell.
Yeah.
Same thing with Instagram. It would be under Craig X Mitchell.
Yep.
And then you can peep my stuff on YouTube, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, YouTube.
It's up to you if you want to take the time.
If you want to, go ahead, put it on YouTube. I didn't put it out there, though. If you want to, go for it.
So, I really appreciate you having me on, man. I think it was definitely, I appreciate you taking a chance on someone you probably have no idea, but...
Yeah.
So.
You know what? It's a business we love to grow, and we will love to watch, wrestling,
So, I really appreciate it, man. Thank you.
I'll see you soon, and I'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, man.
Have a good night.
Bye.
I want to thank my guest tonight, Craig Mitchell from the Freelance Underground for being on. And catch him this week at the shows he just plugged. And follow him on Twitter and social media. And also check him out at Freelance versus GCW, May 11th in Chicago. May 11th, and then 12th, GCW at the Gala in Chicago on May 12th. All right, fans, there you have it. Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast. Bringing the best of interviews, as always. Where can you find me on the internet, like always? On my Facebook on David C. Russell. And on Twitter at DJ Dave NJ32. And Facebook.com. DeathmatchWrestlePodcast.com. A part of the Pod City Network alongside Wrestle PodCast, two providers at wrestling forums companies that we branched into, Wrestle Pop and Podcast City Network. So check them out. I want to say thank you for everybody who listened tonight, and stay tuned tomorrow night. Pro Wrestler Big Donnie's on. And we'll have fun talking to him and much, much more. Always listen to the Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast. Have a good night, everyone. Tune in.
Yeah.
Because I had no pain with no remorse. There's no saving yourself from me. Welcome to the city of pain. I'm there no one, cause I had no pain with no remorse. There's no saving yourself. Inside me, on the bed of climbing shame that is red. Let me be, and look inside me, on the bed of climbing shame that is red. Let me be, I have become a destroyer. Alone, and beautiful, everything controlling me. If you know what's good for you, stay away from me. Inside me, on the bed of climbing shame that is pain. Let me be, and look inside me, on the bed of climbing shame that is pain. Let me be. I'm afraid there is no justice. There is no pain, no pain, no pain for me.